Welcome to John Bohr X. John Bohr X has been a podcast on Spotify. As the host of it, John Bohr, I am looking to branch out. I will put my podcast on YouTube and Rumble. John Bohr X Podcast. John Bohr X Podcast talks about my experience with working in the warehouse for the last 7 years. I give a positive input on what goes on in the warehouse. Throughout the media, there's such a negative vibe from former associates, a lot of bitter associates, They try to run with it, but they end up dropping the ball, What blows my mind away is when I see former associates working in a fulfillment center, I see them as if I was going to go try out for the NFL. And the NFL decided to let me play quarterback. Believe me, if I played quarterback for your NFL team, then you would be trashing screen TVs every weekend. There would be dumpsters of screen TVs stacked up on one another. I have no business being in the NFL. Why? It has nothing to do with my gender. It has nothing to do with my race. It's the fact that I don't have the athletic ability to play in the NFL. So why should the NFL or any professional league let me play? Athletic ability. That's one of the keys of being a professional athlete. The common thing of working in a warehouse and being a professional athlete is that warehouse associates and professional athletes have to be in good physical conditioning. I've been working in the fulfillment center for 7 years. Full-time means that I work 40 hours a week for 4 days, equal 10 hours a day. I am on my feet for that long. I could take somewhere between 21,000 to 22,000 steps. That will equivalent somewhere 8 to 10 miles. And this year, my caloric burn has been in the 4,000s. I'm moving carts in a push and pull. I am lifting boxes. I am lifting things overhead. I am doing squats and deadlifts. The repetitions are in the thousands. And I'm not sure exactly, but I'm estimating the amount of pounds that I move throughout a warehouse are in the thousands easily. When I started working in the fulfillment center in 2018, I weighed around over 220 pounds. And as I continued to work there, my weight escalated. In 2019, I got high as 240 pounds. Well, right now in 2025, I'm somewhere between 180 to 185. An estimate without a calculator, I've lost around 40 to 50 pounds in the last 7 years working in a fulfillment center. The reason why I decided to lose that weight because I knew that if I continue to work in a fulfillment center weighing 230 to 240, I'm not going to last very long. With all that additional body weight, with all that lifting, will greatly impact my body. So I decided to lose some weight, actually a lot of weight. With weight at 180 to 185 pounds, it's better for me. I have a right balance of strength, endurance, and mobility. Those three things are needed for a associate to work in a fulfillment center. Yet human resources in the fulfillment center is kind of like the HR in the LA fire department. They hire people that look like them. Even though DEI should no longer exist, the fulfillment center I work at still carries out the DEI. I tell the kind of employees that work in there. Some are fat, out of shape, A lot of them most likely will not last more than 2 months, and they're already checked out. These are the people that you'll see in the future posting up videos and talking about how difficult working in a fulfillment center is. It just blows my mind on the people that are hired in fulfillment centers. A lot of top level companies are looking to utilize AI and other forms of automation. I was reading an article about that with Honeywell. Honeywell is looking to take its software and build a cart that's going to weigh and track things. They are looking to minimize physical labor because they realize in the future there's not going to be enough healthy people in the fulfillment center.